Hey everyone, welcome back. So Salsa Stories, which is a new media installation celebrating the history and culture of salsa through community revitalization. The project features everything from combined video screening, live music, dance performances, photo exhibition, and a pop-up archival collection site. And recently the project was awarded by the City Corps grant and will be presenting under an open culture program in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Joining us to tell us more, we welcome Salsa Stories founder and producer, Bianka WidaKay.
Hello, such a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for all these wonderful pop-ups that you've been doing thus far. We're here to talk about the August 26th event, but I've been keeping track of Salsa Stories visits throughout different places within Manhattan and the Bronx. And so, first, I want to open up with your last name because Bianka, I read about you and I know that your origins are from Brazil. And I'm just curious to know where the name with a K came from, the last name with a K.
Well, this is a very interesting story because every time I was on set within my production environment, for some reason there's a lot of Biancas and in the salsa scene as well. And every time someone called, it's like Bianca with the C or with the K? And I was like, no, Bianca with the K. And okay, Bianca with the K. So I became known as Bianca with a K to the point that I made it official. That's my artistic name.
So let's talk about Salsa Stories and why you've chosen this particular topic to be your means of just bringing community together, because the concept itself is really dynamic and it sounds like it's a lot of work because you've got so many components.
Right. Well, I've been in New York City for 20 years, and I've been for majority of this time a salsa dancer, and I can say a salsa junkie because there are many kinds of people within the salsa lifestyle, right? And there are those who every day of the week they know about 2 or 3 or 4 places just because we're spoiled like that in New York City. We have that many places to go, and I'm one of them. So I was always out there for salsa, and then very interested, and I decided to transform this addiction, almost like to transform my disability, because I was that kind of person where a friend would roll up their eyes and say, yeah, salsa, I know, like, can you talk about anything else? I'm like, no, I can't. So I decided to create this environment where all I could do is be surrounded by people who can talk about salsa stories.
And so when I mentioned the different dynamics, that's great. You know, it's always wonderful to just engulf yourself in your passion and in your love and joy. And what I really like about what you're doing is you're not just providing a salsa scene, you're providing educational aspects to it and historical aspects to it. So just walk us through what August 26th is going to look like, because I know you've got film, you've got archives, you've got band, you've got all kinds of stuff going on, and it's a full day affair. Well, actually, your portion of it is from 5 to 8, but let's walk us through it.
A little bit of background, right? In 2017, that's when I decided to, I have always been very creative, but not into the TV production. 2017, I started taking a lot of shots and, getting interested about interviewing. And that's when I joined Manhattan Neighborhood Network, which is community-oriented training for producers. So I created this documentary, and my idea was always to be interviewing people from the boroughs where salsa was born, was created, from those immigrants, mostly from Cuba and Puerto Rican, that came to East Harlem, Lower East Side, and South Bronx. So made this documentary. I had always tried to put the programming together outdoors where salsa belongs, because that's where it was created, in the streets of New York City. That's where I wanted to bring. And it was always very difficult with all the challenges and sadness that COVID brought us. He also brought a lot of opportunities and flexibility with those permits, which I applied and was granted. I was specifically strategic, choosing a location in front of the Clemente Cultural Center, Clemente Sotovelas, which is a Puerto Rican Latinx community, cultural and educational institution in the Lower East Side. It was available. I'm like, bam, that's it. That's where I need. And then what I decided, it was to join a lot of friends of mine, personal, intimate friends of mine. The person who taught me how to dance, Joe Burgos from Piel Canela Dancers, he's the greatest instructor, because when he's teaching a class, while he's doing that, he's teaching you the history behind that, the rhythm behind that, the countries where it was brought from. I'm like, that's it, you have to be part of it. And the DJs who also are my person. So this is actually a celebration among friends.
Yeah, and extended to the community though. And
the community that I belong, they're the people that come, they're all friends for many years.
I get it. It just sounds lovely, and I think it's something that we need right now. And I obviously, you know, within the CDC regulations, because we all have to be mindful of the, you know, this particular Delta variant that is, you know, on the rise, and then there's the aspect of making sure that our history is being passed on. Right. So it's not just this celebration of like, I mean, who doesn't love to dance salsa? I'm a salsera myself. So it's like, give me salsa music and I'm there and I'm dancing and I could just spend hours and hours doing that. But to have these other components in where now it becomes this explorational of just experiencing it and really being and getting in touch with the root of it, as in possibly with yourself, if they're your origins, right? Such as me.
Exactly.
And so you've had a few of them throughout the summer, and I know on August 26th, you have this big event that's going to be happening in the Lower East Side, and the showcasing of the history and the culture of salsa is really about you serving the community, in the field that you like, being a producer, being a coordinator. I mean, you've been doing this for a very long time, and it's just, I just find your trajectory fascinating, right? Because you did a little bit of TV, now you just shared the film, and now you're doing these big to-do events outdoors, and it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. You know, in Brazil, the culture is different, right? I belong to an older generation where things were even more different. So at the age of 14, I used to produce events, music events, where I used to take people far out in the woods, about 2,000 people. Mind you, promo in the radio, no internet, not even a pager, right? I would to recruit my friends to sell tickets. And so I always had that in me, like the producer aspect. Today, I'm a TV producer. I have even worked on a show that aired on BronxNet for Center for Puerto Rican Studies, and as a video editor, Puerto Rican Voices. So I do that for a living nowadays, right? But it all started with salsa, because I first had this idea, and then I had to acquire the skills to become a TV producer and make this event. So this event symbolizes a long journey, you know, because I started from that place. Another thing is that, and I started slowly, right? I got these grants. This grant is gonna, and throughout this journey that started in the beginning of the summer in July, first week of July, and every Thursday of the month I've been doing that. I've been joining with partners, cultural partners, and they've been helping here and there. And then I got these grants, which is a cherry on top of the cake, very prestigious, you know, from the biggest funding municipal institution, New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, to fund this special event, where the documentary, which features people from the salsa community, and this is the beauty of it. It's not about like that big singer and that salsa. Yes, it does have those all-star people mentioned and everything, but most likely tells our history, the lifestyle of a salsa dancer, the underground community. How do you even know about those places? They don't advertise. At the door, there's not a sign saying like a salsa social. No, this is word of mouth. So this is what the documentary presents. And this time is presented on a digital billboard truck.
Nice.
I started with a little monitor as a concept, as a proof of concept. And, you know, little by little, it's like this amazing, like street festival, as you mentioned, style with a billboard truck, you know?
That's awesome. That's so awesome. It sounds exciting. And I hope you guys are excited about it, because what she's talking about is going to be on loop throughout the entire performance presentation, the dance presentation. That's Bianka WidaKay sharing with us a little bit of her Salsa La Calle for Salsa La Calle as she celebrates our Salsa Stories. And once again, Salsa Stories is going to be on display on Thursday, August 26th from 5 to 8 p.m. in the Lower East Side. And for more information, you can visit salsastoriestv.com. And for updates, you can visit at Salsa Stories TV on Instagram. All right, when we return, we're going to learn about a cookbook with delicious Italian recipes. You don't want to miss. Don't go anywhere.